only 125,000 men, Napoleon must keep the Allies and the Prussians apart. On June 15, 1815, the French army reaches the Belgo-French border. On June 16th, French troops under the command of Marshal Ney clash in vain with Allied troops at Quatre-Bras. Meanwhile, Napoleon leads the main part of his army against Blucher at Ligny. The Prussians retreat strategically, though Napoleon believes that he has forced them back. The following day, Wellington's army withdraws to the south of Brussels, while Blucher's army folds back to the north of Wavre, thereby thwarting Napoleon's tactics. There are places where the destiny of an entire continent is in play. June 18th, 1815, on the battlefield of Waterloo. Napoleon's strategy: first, destabilize the enemy with relentless bombardment by his artillery. Then, launch a massive attack of infantry and cavalry. Wellington's strategy: to hold out for Blucher to arrive. But Blucher has marshaled Grouchy with an army of 33,000 men on his tail. Wellington dispatches soldiers to occupy and fortify the outposts of Hougoumont, La Haye-Sainte, and Papelotte. Here, at Hougoumont, on the west side of the Allied army, we are almost exactly halfway between the two lines. Two things worry Wellington. Will Napoleon outflank him to the west of Hougoumont? Will Blucher arrive before it's too late? Even before the battle, Wellington knew the defense of this farm would be crucial. He was asked if he were killed, what would his orders be? His reply, 2 words: keep Hougoumont.
the colors of the French flag, blue, white and red. Very beautiful.
Noon. 4,000 French soldiers storm the wood. They are opposed by a few hundred Allied soldiers who give way and fall back towards the farm. Within 30 minutes, the French have taken the wood. They find themselves on a strip of land later to be known as the Killing Ground. There they endure fire from British Guardsmen and Nassauers high on the farm walls. The French try to climb the walls and break down the south gate. They are repelled with bayonets. The 3rd Guards engage them in hand-to-hand fighting in front of the south gate. The Allies bombard the wood. More and more French emerge. More and more fall. There are acts of courage that turn men into heroes. After the first unsuccessful attack, Jérôme Bonaparte takes the wood to the south of the farm. With thousands of soldiers, again he dislodges the smaller Allied force. The French approach Hougoumont, but this time Prince Jérôme, more familiar with the terrain, avoids the rapid fire of the Coldstream Guards. The French deploy along the west wall. The defenders are forced back. Armed with his halberd, Sergeant Ralph Fraser unsaddles Colonel de Coudière and wounds him. Fraser seizes the horse. Soldiers aim their muskets at Coudière. But, as a salute to Coudière's bravery, they do not fire. French soldiers smashes his way through the north gate. Hougoumont defenses are breached. Hand-to-hand fighting. Frenzied violence. Hougoumont is about to fall. Try to enter the farm, 10 English and Scottish soldiers, led by Colonel MacDonald, rush to the gate, close it, and barricade it. Now the gate is closed, the French are trapped. Rigaud and his men cannot retreat. They are all killed, to a man. All but one. An eyewitness records that a young drummer boy is spared by Private Matthew Clay. Allies hold Hougoumont, but only just. The success of the Battle of Waterloo turned on the closing of the gates at Hougoumont, the Duke of Wellington. After the closing of the gates, the French decide to attack through the orchard beyond the formal garden. French advance on the orchard to attack the first guards, who were again outnumbered. But perched on makeshift platforms along the garden wall, the Coldstreamers fire on the French, forcing them to beat a retreat. Napoleon loses all patience. The repeated assaults by his troops have all failed. Hougoumont remains in Wellington's control. The French bring up howitzers and attempt to drive the enemy out by shelling the farm. The roofs of the chateau and the great barn are ablaze. For the Allied soldiers here, the heat and smoke is unbearable. Horses, maddened by fear, gallop out of burning buildings and back into the flames. The air is filled with the pitiful cries of wounded men, trapped by fire and falling roofs. The onslaught, the Allied soldiers remain at their posts. They fight on. Not a single French soldier penetrates the formal garden or the farm walls. In the chapel, the Christ begins to burn. Shells continue to fall. The French fire is incessant. It is a scene of horror. Hougoumont burns, but Hougoumont resists. On the other side of the battlefield, Blucher and his army arrive at last and attack the French right flank. There are moments that mark the imagination for centuries to come. It's 6:30. Once more, and for the last time, Hougoumont is attacked. Once more, the fire of the defenders forces the French infantry back. Then, the unexpected. Cries are heard across the battlefield. La garde recule. The guard is retreating. Napoleon's final throw, a massive assault by the Imperial Guard, has failed to break Wellington's line. At Hougoumont, the exhausted but undefeated defenders watch in disbelief as the French army halts, turns, and rushes in the opposite direction. It is 8:30. At Hougoumont, the slaughter was terrible. Blood had stained the trees and walls. Sir Walter Scott. Loss I have sustained in my old friends and companions, and my poor soldiers. Believe me, nothing except a battle lost can be half so melancholy as a battle won. Duke of Wellington, the day after the battle. The great Battle of Waterloo had finally terminated the times of war and introduced a reign of peace so stable that its conclusion may yet be distant still. Duke of Wellington's obituary, The Times, September 1852. There is a duty to remember those who made history.
That was amazing. I love it.